What's up, everybody? It's Last Speaks back for another video. And recently in the NBA talks, as we are entering the end of the season, and everyone is talking about the MVP voting, Skip and Shannon had debated this issue between primarily two players, though there are three that are now being spoken about with the addition of Chris Paul because of the phenomenal season that the Phoenix Suns have had, especially as of late. One of the hottest teams in the league. But for the most part, the two people that have been talked about is interesting because they are two centers, and we have not seen this be the topic, meaning two centers being the top runners for the MVP voting since Shaquille O'Neal. So we're talking about almost 20 years of this, in fact. So these two, they're going to talk about it, and I'm going to chime in and comment.
In the playoffs.
Yoke. Easy night. Jenny ain't tell you he had 24 in the first quarter and blew it open.
Oh,
the game was over in the first quarter.
It was.
Okay. I went with them Knicks. Stay out my inbox, Knicks fans. You ain't going nowhere. Leave me alone. I ain't bothering nobody over here. Skip, you look at Nikola Jokic. 26 points, 11 rebounds, 8.5 assists, 57% shooting, 40 from the three, 86 from the free throw line. Joel Embiid, 29, 11, and 3. What are we talking here? And for all that,
All right, so basically Shannon Sharpe is... See, this is the thing about Shannon Sharpe, and I've been listening to and watching this show for years, and Shannon Sharpe is blown away by those guys who on offense can just light up the scoreboard. You know, what he goes to is he's saying that Jokic is scoring 26 points a night, 11 rebounds, and 8.5 assists, whereas Joel Embiid, of course, is averaging more points, 29, almost 30, really. He's really 29 point something, close to 30, 11 rebounds, and 3 assists. And he's saying, what are we talking about here now? As if typically getting assists is a center thing, which is like a problem, because really what Nikola Jokic is doing as the center here, getting assists, is something that is not traditionally a center stat. So that does make him different. It does make him a unicorn, in fact. And he is absolutely a phenomenal basketball player. No one is here to say that. But however, does that make him better than Joel Embiid when we begin to factor in the other side of the floor?
Oh, Joel Embiid is number one in the East. They won one more game than Jokic. And Jokic is doing this without the second best player on his team. He's 10-2 since Jamal Murray went down.
Well, now, as of today, it's 2 games, but that's fine.
It's over. Do you realize that Nikola Jokic is only a half assist a game behind Chris Paul? And they got Chris Paul in the MVP discussion, right?
That's the thing for me. Like, so what? He's a center. Like, typically in basketball, you have your point guard or you have another person setting that up. The Denver Nuggets are set up in a different way, where the center is the center of the offense, and he's like being a facilitator. This isn't something that we saw as being something centers did traditionally.
Nikola Jokic averages about 10 points more, 7 more rebounds, and only a half assist fewer.
No, you don't factor in assists when it comes to points like that. That's ridiculous.
Than Chris Paul. So he can do everything. He can score, run the offense. One of the best passers in the league. He's on pace to pass Wilt Chamberlain with the most assists in a season for a center. Sounds like MVP to me. That's like MVP. I just give you a look at him. You look at him, you're like, man, that joke ain't gonna do nothing. He one of them guys that show up at the park, and you like he ain't gonna do nothing. And next thing you know, you're on the sideline telling me, I don't know how that sorry joker beat me. That's him.
Okay. So that's who you want in the postseason.
I want him because have you ever seen? I seen that guy. What he did. You saw what he did last year to your Clippers. Do you remember that, right? Okay.
They did it to themselves.
No, I ain't know that.
First of all, with the Clippers, and I'm not saying that Jokic didn't have a phenomenal season, but honestly, or a phenomenal series there against the Clippers. But when we look at the Clippers, who did they have? Montrezl Harrell actually didn't even play in the bubble. And then at center, you have Zubac. All right, so if we look at it from a standpoint of the competition, he did what he was supposed to do. I expected him to do that, to dominate. However, when they and he actually did a decent job against Rudy Gobert as well. So I won't take that.
Don't do that, Skip. Don't do that.
Stop it. So if you're in the park and you see 21 coming, what do you think? You think, oh my God.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You say, I want him on my team, and I do not want to play against 21. That's what they say in the NBA every night. We don't want any part of that. I don't love 21 for my Cowboys anymore, but I love that 21.
Skill.
I'll take him any day or any night over number 15 for the Nuggets. Any day or night.
See, what Skip is looking at is the traditional center, and I actually am in agreement with him. I'm going to say this real quick, okay? The center's primary job for me, my ideal center, I'm going to start with, can he protect the rim? That's where I'm going to start, all right? If we bring this here discussion up, we saw the offensive numbers. Joel Embiid scores a little bit, a few more points, and actually 3 points a game more is actually quite significant. But Jokic is a good scorer and a good shooter. On the rebounds right now, they're similar in rebounds. However, come on, let's be real. In a situation where these two men are going at it, Joel Embiid will out-rebound Nikola Jokic. This is more so of like an effort thing. But Joel Embiid is a better rebounder, like career-wise. Like last year, Joel Embiid averaged 13 rebounds per game. Jokic has never averaged that many rebounds. As far as assists, that's good. That's an extra thing for me with a center. That has to do with how you run your offense. Joel Embiid, I'm not looking for him to be an assist guy. That does not make you a more effective center for me. Joel Embiid's assists going to come primarily from him being double teamed and passing out of the double team. Whereas Nikola Jokic is looking to set up the guards on his team. The Philadelphia 76ers are built in a completely different way where they're looking for Ben Simmons to do most of that. So that's not even fair to compare. But if we want to say Jokic is a better passer, absolutely he is. But are you looking for your center to be a passer? I'm looking for a center to be a rim protector. All right. Now, when we look at defense, okay, Nikola Jokic, according to defensive rating, is 129th out of 300 some odd players in the NBA when it comes to defensive rating. He's 129th, whereas Joel Embiid is 7th in the league with a rating of 105.6. All right, if you understand defensive rating, that goes per 100 points, how many points are scored when you're out there. The player with the best defensive rating right now is Rudy Gobert with a 102 or 103.1, which is a phenomenal defensive rating. All right, so Joel Embiid is just behind him at 105.6. An example of another player is like Luka Doncic. Luka Doncic is a 112.4, and Nikola Jokic is actually behind him, and he's supposed to be a rim defender. Now, he's a phenomenal player, and you could pick what you like. I know that when we look at what typically happens in the playoffs, assuming now that the Sixers are in a better situation than they have been in previous years, there's much better coaching, there's much better shooting outside of where Embiid is. So here, what will be more of an asset is the defense and the rim protecting. And we can see that by looking at, for example, the Los Angeles Lakers of last year, who had Anthony Davis and Dwight Howard protecting the rim. Whereas with the Denver Nuggets, I mean, how are you going to have a center that's so phenomenal on offense, but he's not even in the top 100 in defensive rating is beyond me. And to say that a player is better than another player without considering defense to me is just silly.
The guy, you know it, Skip. You watch it. You just watch it, Skip. And I know it's unorthodox. You look at him. He ain't posterizing anybody. He ain't hyping up the crowd. He ain't doing anything like this here. He don't do that when the guys. He don't do none of that. He just.
Shannon's being silly. People don't like Embiid because he's doing those things. No, it's the fact that he plays defense and offense.
Come off the court. He got 30, 12, and 8. That's all he got.
Yeah, and a horrible defensive rating.
Who you want protecting your rim? 21 and
Exactly.
blue over there, or 15?
Skip,
I'll take 21 any day or night.
You make it seem like he Rudy Gobert.
Yeah.
Why does he have to be Rudy Gobert? In defensive rating of all the players in the NBA, Joel Embiid is ranked 7th of all the players in the NBA. What do you mean, Rudy Gobert? What, he has to be like that? And then number 2, come on, nobody takes Rudy Gobert over Joel Embiid. Nobody. Last time Joel Embiid played against Rudy Gobert, he put up 40 and 18 rebounds on Rudy Gobert. What is Shannon Sharpe talking about? Do your homework, buddy.
He only had
He can be.
Give me Jokic.
He can be a terror.
Skip, you know, Skip, it's okay.
I will take power plus finesse over just pure finesse because the guy on the right is pure finesse.
And giving you buckets. He giving folks fits.
Well, not as many buckets as Embiid gives you.
Just ignoring the defensive side of the ball blows my mind.
But hold on. When you average in the points and the assists, he's giving you more than Joel Embiid.
Well, I got that, but
that's silly. Your center shouldn't be playing point guard.
They shoot the same. They shoot the same from the free throw line. They're about to. He's better than Joel from the three because you love the three. You love big men that can shoot three.
Yeah, I don't want my center shooting threes either, so I don't care about that.
He's 40% and 57% from.
And also too, Joel Embiid is shooting 38% from the three, and Jokic shooting 40%. That's 2 tenths of a damn point. It's like, come on, man, come on. I mean, 2 percentage points. Come on, dude, cut it out.
The floor, Joel Embiid is 51% from the floor, so he's more efficient, giving you as many rebounds, more assists.
Efficiency is deceptive because Joel Embiid takes way more difficult shots than Nikola Jokic.
And a few 3 points fewer. Give me Jokic, MVP. I told you he was going to win it.
you did. You got me on that one. And I just told you about Aaron Rodgers. That MVP is worth the cost of what it takes to make that trophy. That's the end.
I agree. I agree with that. I'm not concerned about, like, some Sixers fans are upset that Joel Embiid, won't get the MVP trophy and all of that. But personally, I'm not concerned about the MVP trophy. And the reason is because of the people who vote for MVP. There are guys like Chris Broussard, who comes on FS1 a lot, who votes for it. And it's also other sports reporters and writers. And sports reporters and writers, you have to factor in a lot of things. These guys will vote for people based off of, they don't like a guy's personality, they won't vote for him. They'll keep guys out of the Hall of Fame because they don't like them and different things like that. And because that element is in there, and these guys are not, really basketball guys, even though sometimes they'll call them that. Many of these guys are really fraudulent when it comes to that. They're following different narratives. They're looking at things like he played more games, right? Now, when it comes to the playing more games, I'll give it to you if it's a situation where players are taking time off due to load management. If you're load managing 20, 30 games a year, then I'll give it to you. Yeah, I wouldn't make that person an MVP. However, if someone is injured, this is outside of their control. I don't believe it's fair to take it away from someone because of injury. And when you do that, what happens is the person who does win actually won by default because that person was not actually the most dominant player that year. So it doesn't mean anything to me either. I agree with Skip.
That.
So let me ask you a question.
Yep.
You think Joel Embiid is going to win the NBA Finals?
I think they got a real shot if he stays healthy, and that's all.
Do you think Jokic is going to win the NBA Finals? What are you talking about?
Is the big if, because where you got me on MVP was Jokic has played 66 games. That's all of them. That's every last one. That's more games than anybody in the whole league played.
Yep.
So he just outlasted everybody. He just simply showed he went to work more than anybody else. Embiid made it 47 games. So it's 66 games to 47
19
games.
missed.
Okay? And he hyperextended his knee, and I was afraid he's gone for the year. But
honestly, it ain't that deep. All you had to do is bring up the defensive ratings. Like, Jokic's defensive rating is deplorable. It's pathetic versus Joel Embiid's, which is elite.
Came back, and he looks 100% fit
And we saw how they looked when they didn't have big Ben Simmons. One guy has won 10 games without his second best player.
So
that depends on the teams you play. Did he have to play the Milwaukee Bucks? Did he have to play the Brooklyn? Did he have to play like teams like that? Or did he have to play like Sasquatch teams? That's what matters.
Very good piece that's up on ESPN.com right now by Kirk Gold.
This idea that the Sixers don't win without Ben Simmons is nonsense. All right, they don't win without Joel Embiid. That's who they don't win without.
And the headline is, "Don't let the MVP argument distract from Embiid's greatness."
Yeah.
Kirk calls it a breakout season for Joel Embiid, and he says the story here is Embiid and the new-look 76ers appear to be evolving into one of the most sustainable contenders in the NBA. That is correct.
Hold on. So what you think the Nuggets? Now, you do realize Michael Porter Jr. is only in his second year. He only going to get better. Now, you let Jamal Murray come back from that injury. Because think about it, Skip. Jamal Murray did not get up to the great start. We didn't see the Jamal Murray that ended the bubble to start the regular season. And Yoke carried him. So I'm going to give him some.
And I know our rookie Tyrese Maxey put up over 30 on the Nuggets.
Ready for that, Skip.
Guess who has taken and made more jump shots than anybody on the Sixers team? That guy, Embiid, has. He's made 40% of his jump shots. That includes threes and 2-point jump shots. And he's made 44% of his 2-point shots, which is just extraordinary. I'm talking about touch. He's got touch. He's got finesse, and he can pass the basketball.
Skip. He ain't got touch like Yoke. Skip, that 1-foot jumper. You know that 1-foot jumper from the corner? That's money. That's money. He can put that 1 foot, right foot, left foot, it doesn't matter. Skip, like I said, I get it. You look at Yoke and you're like, that joker ain't gonna do nothing. He can't posterize nobody.
No, it ain't that. He can't play defense.
He can't even jump over.
Honestly, he shouldn't even. Skip doesn't even have to do this offensive argument. Go to the defensive side of the floor, which is important. All right, we got the greatest center to me, greatest winning center of all time was Bill Russell. He won that thing on defense, being a utility player. It's defense. Olajuwon, 2 championships, defense. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, rim protection. Like, this argument is ridiculous to me because there's 2 sides of the floor.
Phone book. They don't even make phone books anymore. But you remember they used to make them. They about this high. He can't jump over that.
Embiid can carry you farther than Yoke can carry you.
My guy carried him to the Western Conference Final. Where Yoke carried him? Now, you know he got stomach problems, right? I'm just waiting on... the Gerber baby food, the broccoli and carrots didn't do him well. Don't do that, Skip.
Hey, Gerber baby.
Clippers are going to win the West anyway.
Thank you for watching. You can subscribe.
All right, pretty much that's it, guys. Hey, there's Shannon. He's a funny dude. That was hilarious at the end there. But that's pretty much the argument on that. We're going to see what happens. I think that they will probably go with Jokic because I know how these guys think, how these writers are, and the stuff that they value. And some of them probably don't even like Embiid on a personal level. So, whatever. We'll see them guys in the finals if they can make it. I got the Sixers making it, though. All right, so with that, I'm out.
Here to get the latest.